welcome to the Jack Charon Arena in downtown Kanata. New home to the Kanata Kings, and where the visiting Westport Rideaus come into tonight's game with a 2-1 lead in this second round series of the National Capital Junior Hockey League. Tonight's officiating crew: Stasiuk, McFarland, Trottier. Ready things off. And here come the Rideaus. Tonight's lineup: Mueller, Campbell, McGlade, Vio, Chason, Green, Finn, Leonard, Morency, Merkley, Hannah, Empey, Onion, Pelledo, Jackson, McLean, Donnelly, Campbell, Carroll, Sear, Fowler, Spicer, and Mossman. For the Kanata Kings: Beauchamp, Sheehan, Kennedy, Picard, Peck, Brown, Lang, Levchenko, Evans, Jean Vaux, Colley, Peloso, Lowe's, Dinsdale, O'Leary, Hurdle, Montcalm, Kahn, Caron, Shale, Brown, Cruz, Shaughnessy, Fiorenza, and Paget. Sorry, Ren rounds out the officiating crew. Dinsdale back in the net for Kanata. O'Leary with the win last week, a little exuberant in his celebration after the game, received a gross, so he will be out for tonight's game. Not available. The Kings have been playing their netminders game on, game off, and this would have been Dinsdale's game anyway. And Fowler gets the puck in over the Kanata line, and that should be an ice, and no, it's waved off. In the corner, Evans steers it towards the net. That's tipped wide. On the far side, Rideaus can't clear. They get another opportunity here, and they get it to center. Peloso hits the back of his teammate, trying to bring that back in. And now to the line is Evans, and he throws it in, and the Kings go off for a change. Carroll around the back of the net, hard off the boards, but picked up there by the Kings. Finn now. He gets it to center, tipped there by the Kings, and the Rideaus make changes. Spicer out of the net to stop it for McLean. McLean gets it to the corner where it's picked up by Cruz. Back to Shaughnessy, his shot, tipped in front, save made by Spicer. Cruz against Sear on the draw. And Cruz has been tossed from the face-off dot. Hurdle comes in. No. Colley comes in. McLean with the puck going behind the net. And pinned there was Hurdle. And now Campbell to the puck. Up to Story. Gets past him, gets past everyone. And right down on net. Peck over to Cruz. Out to the line, kept in by Campbell. Campbell on his backhand, gets it to the corner. Shaughnessy behind the net. Hurdle on the far side. That went off the skate of Jackson. McLean throws it back in. Kings behind the net, they go hard off the glass. Gets to the line and chipped past Campbell, but too far. And that's frozen at the side of the net by Spicer. Both teams making changes. Kennedy and Onion on the draw. Onion wins it. Onion around to Leonard. Leonard ahead to Pelado. Pelado tried to get it back to Leonard. And now Carroll. Over to Onion. Onion shot, rebound. And the Kings trying to clear, but they won't get by Pelado. Onion has the puck knocked off his stick. To the line and out. And Mueller puts it right back in. Now the Kings behind their own net. Out they come. Ahead for Shale. That should be an icing. And it is. 17:25 remaining here in the first. No score at the Jacques Charon Arena. And that's pushed ahead by Onion. Leonard gets it out for Pelado briefly. On the near side, Carroll in for that. Mueller, the last man back. He gets it to Leonard, who leaves it for Onion. Onion circles back in his own end. Onion to Fowler. Sorry, Mueller. That's kicked ahead. Not quite far enough for Leonard, but now Carroll throws in a high, hard one. Onion on the far side. And in comes Merkley. He was looking for Onion. The Kanata defenseman got a stick on that. Now Campbell ahead to Onion. Up to Merkley, and Onion goes off for a change. Evans behind his own net. Comes to the half boards. Empey keeps it in. Now Evans gets it deep. Campbell leaves it there. Some fancy passing by the Rideaus. We'll need to watch that, as the Kings are right on the puck early in this game. No icing, says the linesman. But then the other linesman says yes. Face-off coming to the left of Spicer. Colley against Empey. And Empey wins that draw back to Campbell. Campbell around the net for Merkley. Merkley looking for Campbell. Now Campbell to Campbell. Empey going off on a change, and Cruz gains the zone. He gets it ahead, knocked away there by Campbell, the defenseman. Out to the line it comes. Long shot, steered aside by Spicer. Now behind the net. Campbell off the boards to the line, but kept in by the Kanata defenseman. That dump in went off a skate and wide. On the far side, again, long shot. That might have been a pass back door. Peloso coughs up the puck. And now, Morency. Morency with the toe drag and the shot. Dinsdale with the save. 15-17 remaining in the first. Westport 0, Kanata no score. Face off to the left of Dinsdale. Scrambled draw. Below couldn't quite get a handle on that. Carroll's shot off the leg of Shale. And now McLean to Carroll. Carroll sauces it ahead. It jumps the stick of Caron. Dinsdale knocks it over to Peloso. The puck comes to the slot area. And now the Kanata Kings go high off the glass. McLean, last man back. He'll go around the boards. It's kept in there. A collision at the blue line. Behind the net, Morency chases. And the Kings break out. All long pass ahead. The Kings have tried that stretch pass and had some success with it over the season. Picard throws it in. Spicer stops it up for McLean, who tries to get it to Carroll. Carroll off the boards, it gets out. And now Below and Fowler. Below can't get past Shaughnessy, but he rubs him out on the boards. Morency behind the net. And that gets to the line, kept in by Campbell. He throws it wide of the net. Below was going off on a change, but now he'll get it deep. And coming out the near side, Levchenko gets it ahead for Evans. Morency puts it back for Story. Mueller to Campbell. Ahead for Sear. Sear, Story, and Jackson. Mueller on the far side. He whiffs on the pass, but it goes right to Sear. So nifty move there by Story. Sear gets the backhand towards the net. It's open. No one can find the puck, but now the Kings clear. Kings up the far side. And now Jackson across the line. Drops it for Story. His shot, again wide. They got to dial in the sights a little here early on. Story turns and fires, looking for Sear. And now Jackson gets it back to the corner. Coming around the near side. Finn steps in from the line. Finn comes up the puck. His shot off a stick. Back out to the slot area. Two Rideaus get their sticks on it. Now a third, but Cruz comes across center. Cruz, his shot off a stick and almost right to Hurdle. Carroll on the far side. And now Sear. Sear's going to leg it out. And now Finn gets it to center, and he'll dump it in while his forwards make changes. Dinsdale stops up the puck for Peloso. Peloso behind his own net. Long pass ahead. That should be an icing. No, they beat it out. And the Rideaus behind their own net. Now that's Finn. Ahead for Pelado. Pelado looking for Onion, but it was intercepted there by Cruz, and he puts it back in deep. Carroll across for Pelado, and the Kanata Kings again putting it in deep. It's there against Shale. Now Onion. Onion taking his time, looks for Leonard. And now the puck in the corner. Now Leonard coming out with it. Bit behind Pelado with that pass. The Kings put it back in deep. Little miscommunication there by the Rideaus behind Spicer. But now Pelado. Pelado 3, they come wide. Leonard the trailer, and now Levchenko. Levchenko's across the blue, his shot wide. Kanata throw it in front of the net, kicked behind the net by Campbell. He was looking for Onion. Onion with a nifty move, but kept in by Shaughnessy. Onion gets it to neutral ice, and the Kings pass it around. Shaughnessy going for the cross ice dump, picked up by McLean. He was looking for Empey up the middle. Campbell knocks that pass down. Campbell gets it to the blue line. Well, forwards will make changes. Long pass intercepted there by the other Campbell. Now McLean. Campbell to Campbell. Empey ahead. And back it comes. McLean steps up. He sees Merkley on the near side, but the pass a bit too far. Coming back the other way. Cruz drops for Peloso. Peloso throws it out front. It hits skate. And now Merkley. Merkley with some speed. He's hooked from behind by Colley. Colley gets by Mueller, but Mueller knocks the puck off his stick. And out through center comes the puck. Morency on Peloso. And back it comes. Finn looking to the near side. Caron back behind Dinsdale. Below chases him. Now Morency and Below. And that gets the line, but Finn keeps it in. Knocked down there. Morency looking to pass it back to Below. And now the Kings cross the blue line. A toe drag, turned aside. Kings in the corner, throw it up top. That's off a stick. And looking for the back door pass. There was nobody there, blue or white. Another shot towards the net. And now Fowler gets the puck on the stick of Braden Below. Below trying to get around Caron. And he's rubbed out. Now back come the Kings, 2-on-2. McLean and Carroll back. And stop made by Spicer. Big crowd here tonight. A little over 100 in attendance. More than half from Westport. And the puck gets to the corner on that face-off. And looking cross ice to Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy shot high and wide. On the far side, the Kings get it deep. That's thrown out front, and Spicer covers that up. Some pushing and shoving, a bit of a late whack at it by the Kings. Trache and Stasiuk, nothing much for them to do so far tonight. Let's hope it stays that way. And the draw won by the Rideaus, but kept in by Shaughnessy. Round the net, Campbell throws it up for his winger, Sear. Has it pinned on the side boards. Now a scrum. And out of it come the Rideaus. Mueller throws it up, but it's off the helmet of a Kings player. Sear gets it in deep. Story chasing Shaughnessy. Story and Shaughnessy battling in the corner. Story comes up with it back behind the net for Jackson. Jackson looking out front for Sear. It went off his skate and past Campbell down the ice. Campbell all the way back. That's Nolan Campbell, by the way. And back through it comes Finn now out of the box. Finn and Carroll, they get it ahead. Sear gains the zone. All the way over for Leonard. Leonard was looking to go back to Sear, but a lot of sticks there. Now to Carroll. Carroll throws it to the net, tipped, loose, and a goal. Was it Jackson? Yes, Connor Jackson. Connor Jackson gets the Rideaus on the board. So it's 7-11 here at the Jack Charron Arena. The Rideaus lead the Kings 1-0. Onion on the draw against Hawley. The Kings take possession. D-to-D pass. Kings coming out of their own zone. Tipped at center, no icing there. And the net is off the moorings. Although Spicer made the save. The net posts here are such that there's not a lot of post in the ice, so we may see the nets coming off frequently. Similar system to what the Arrows have in Athens. Picard with a broken stick on the draw. Stasiuk is going to allow Picard to stay. Not his fault that the stick broke, I guess. We have 52 viewers joining us from home so far. Leonard in the corner, steps around to hit. And that's a rebound. Kicked aside, and the Rideaus not able to get a hold of the puck. Good back check there by Onion. Might have saved something there. And Carroll now. Carroll across the blue line, long shot off the blocker. Big rebound by Dinsdale. Pelado now on the far side. And the Kings relieve the pressure. Carroll again. He went off the glass. That went by everybody, but Dinsdale's going to have to play that. And Leonard out to, oh. Leonard had Pelado in the slot. And again, the net off the moorings. Some pushing and shoving after the whistle. So I'd like to give a shout out to Charlie Dawson. Well for you in Cornwall last night. We know Charlie was hoping to get back in time for the end of last night's game, but as it was postponed till Sunday, he'll get to see the whole game. Face off to the right of Dinsdale, and the Kings throw it up, and it hit the roof, which takes some doing here. That's a high roof. Levchenko going to the bench for a new twig. .607 remaining here in the first. Rideaus lead the Kings 1-0. Hurdle in the draw now against Empey. And the Kings get control behind Dinsdale. That was Empey hassling his man all the way out. Now on the far side, McLean to Merkley. McLean gets the puck back. McLean behind the net. And he goes far side to Campbell. And that would be Cohen Campbell this time. And now behind the net, McLean again, up to Merkley. Merkley's pass off a skate. Merkley battling two Kings on the near boards. And now to the far side they go. That's Cohen Campbell across the blue line. Campbell in, shoots off the glove of Dinsdale. Quickly throws it through the blue ice, but the Rideaus were a little too deep, and that's an offside, says McFarland. Five minutes to go here in the first period. The hometown Kings trail the visiting Rideaus 1-0. Draw one by the Rideaus. That was thrown ahead. Fowler can't quite catch Caron on that, so that's an icing. Face-off will be to the left of Ben Spicer. Morency and Evans. Morency wins that draw. Let's put around the net for Fowler. Fowler ahead for Below blazing down the right side. And now the Kings looking to clear. They throw it up the middle. And now Carroll trying to get it ahead for Morency. Peloso brings it back into his own end. Mueller now. Mueller stops up. He's got Morency in his sights. Peloso intercepts that pass, but Carroll coming back the other way. Carroll's shot off a shin pad. Fowler on the far side. Gets pinched off, and now the Kings looking to clear. Morency bothering Levchenko, but a miscommunication between the Rideaus players. And now Morency ahead. That's off the stick of Below, but that's too far, and that'll be an ice. .404 remaining in the first. Still 1-0 Rideaus. Face off to the left of Spicer. And the Kings win that one. That shot went nowhere. And now Fowler looking to get it deep. Wren says no icing. Below on the forecheck. The Kings get it to Cruz. Cruz drops for Colley. Colley around Campbell, but behind the net. Out, and a quick stick by Colley. Intercepts that pass. Sorry, by Campbell. And now it comes up to the far side. Peck pinching in. He throws it. Oh, and the Story looking to tip it. And the tip went to the stick of Cruz, and Cruz draws even. That shot off the pad of Spicer, but hit the inside of the post. And the Kings have tied it up at 3:25. A couple of Rideaus players caught out on the icing. Couldn't get the change, but now we're back. Campbell to his partner, Finn. Finn's pass off the stick of the Kings, so no icing. Peck throws it around the boards. And that pass off a couple of sticks, but Shale across the blue line, off the blocker of Spicer and into the corner. And that Kennedy in the danger zone, but Spicer equal to the challenge. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the first period. Tie game, one apiece. Draw one by the Rideaus. And Carroll ahead to Story. Story over to Jackson, who tipped it ahead to Sear. But McFarland says offside. Cruz from Colley and Peck, the official score. Draw back to McLean, who gets it across to Carroll. Carroll's shot off the blocker of Dinsdale and over the high glass and out of play. A quick period here. It's only 8 o'clock and there's 2 minutes and change remaining. Leonard on the puck. Tried to get it out to Onion, and he does. Onion looking in front for Pelado. It comes back to Onion. Onion back door, and Leonard knocked down before he could get a shot off. Back comes Peloso, and now Peloso. Now Carroll. So, unsportsmanlike conduct for Peloso for shooting the puck in the net after the whistle. So the first power play of the night going to the Rideaus. McLean with the puck. Here comes East-West. He throws it in front. Rebound. And that'll be shot down the ice. Spicer stops it up to Jackson. Ahead for Morency. Morency gets around a man. Morency gains the zone but can't get anybody. Kicks it over for Story. Story back to Morency. Morency to the line to McLean, who puts it to Jackson. Jackson to the far side to Morency. They're looking for the back door, and they get it. Morency, his shot off the pad of Dinsdale. McLean to Morency again, back to McLean. McLean back to Morency. He holds. They go back to Jackson. Oh, looking for Sear, and he's taken down. And that got all the way out. Jackson now gains the zone. Jackson into Sear. Sear looks out front for Story. His shot well wide. Morency looking behind for Sear, but intercepted. And McLean all the way over for Jackson. Jackson backs up. And now Morency gains the zone. Morency throwing it back for Sear. Hopped his stick. And now the Cruz, the goal scorer for the Kings, back one-on-one with Finn, and there's going to be a high stick to Finn. Peck now in the corner. And Finn going to the box with 12 seconds left in the power play. And it is a high stick. "35 seconds to go here in the first. We'll have our little 4-on-4. Draw won by the Kings, barely kept in at the line. And now Carroll. Carroll ahead for Onion. Onion, Carroll, and Pelado. Onion shoots off a body. Carroll now spins. No, that's Pelado. And back come the Kings. They're on a power play now. And they'll drop it across. Cruz can't get through Mueller. And now Pelado will get it to the line and get it deep to kill off the remaining 3 seconds of this first period. This is interesting that both teams need to use the same door to get to the change room. So after 20 minutes of play, we're tied at 1, and we'll start the second period with the Kings on the power play for 1:25 or less. See you in 10 minutes. And we're back for period number 2. These two teams have been pretty even the entire season and into the playoffs. And they're even again tonight at 1 apiece. However, the Kings will be starting the second period on the power play. Finn going for a high stick. Dinsdale and Spicer each beaten once in the first period. And the Kings get control. Peck to the far side. Cross center they come, and they put it in deep. Spicer out to stop that up. Mueller gets a stick on it, and it's down the ice. Dinsdale leaves it for Peck. Peck with ahead to Colley. Colley up to Evans. Evans looking to go over to Cruz, and Jackson now with Sear. And Peck picks that up in the corner. Cruz gets it ahead. Mueller back for Carroll, and Mueller rubbed out behind the boards. Behind the net it goes. To the far side, back to the top to Peck. Peck wide to Evans, back to Peck. His shot over the net. Carroll elects to go far side. Jackson leaves it there for Sear, or Carroll, whoever gets there first. It was Sear. And now back to the line for Peck. Cruz. Cruz trying to go all the way across the ice, and now Sear looking to get ahead for Jackson. That was gloved down by Peck. Peck across the line, drop pass. It gets through a leg, and Spicer. Cruz on the doorstep. A lucky bounce went his way, but Spicer with the leather keeps the game tied at 1 apiece. Face off to the left of Ben Spicer. Kennedy against Morency. Morency came up with that draw, and it gets ahead to Below. Below put it behind Fowler. Got on the forecheck. Below keeps it in. Fowler now on Peloso in the corner. McLean pinches in. His pass off a skate. Back it comes. Campbell. Turned and fired. Picked up there by Kanata. That shot off the blocker of Spicer, high in the air. And now Morency ahead for Below. Below across the line. He puts it behind the net. Fowler there. Fowler looking out. Looking for Below, and it got by everybody. I think Campbell might have thought that was an icing. Now McLean. McLean to Below. Below to Morency. Morency has Leonard now. Morency behind the net. He's on his backhand. He turns, tried to get it across to Below. And now the Kings come out 4-on-2. Cruz drops it for Hurdle. Hurdle had a man, and I don't think the Kings player realized how much time and space he had to shoot the puck there. So the net off its moorings again. The same system they have for the Athens Arrows and the Eastern Ontario Junior B Hockey League. That puck tipped just wide, and now Pelado legging it up the near boards. Pelado across the blue, and now Leonard. Leonard had it for a moment, and now the Kings come back. Cruz trying to get around Finn and can't. but he gets the puck back behind the net. Finn legging it up. Finn gets across the red and gets it deep. Bounce off the boards there. Dinsdale wise to stop that up. And now Picard takes it back into his own end. And that's knocked off his stick by Onion. He was being hassled by Leonard at the time. That gets to the line and out, and that's off the skate of Carroll. So Finn puts it back for Carroll. Carroll ahead to Leonard. Leonard, stick check from behind. And the Kings come back in. Carroll knocks that back behind the net. Kings get it to the line, and they will cycle it behind the net. Finn against Evans. And now on the far side, Carroll trying to get ahead for Leonard. It jumps his stick. Finn with a dive to knock that puck out of the reach of Picard. And now the Rideaus get it ahead. And they'll make changes. Pelado on Caron. But he gets it ahead. Levchenko tips it in. And the Kings go off for a change. Mueller to Jackson. Jackson for Story. Story across the line into the corner. And another. So the system here, there's about 3 inches of pipe in the netting. And then there's a nub that sticks down in the center of a hole in the ice. But when these goaltenders are trying to push off their post, there's not much there to hold it in. And Caron trying to go off the glass. He got a little too high and went off the mesh. So a face-off to the right of Dinsdale. Sear wins the draw back to Story. Story whiffs on the shot, but good second effort to get that puck back. And he goes across for Sear, and it missed him and got to Jackson. Hurdle now. Hurdle gets to center and throws it in. Campbell behind his own goaltender. Nolan Campbell. And now Jackson over for Story. That bouncy puck went off his stick. Back up the middle. Mueller back. Mueller turns to Sear. Sear gets to center and throws it in deep. That'll give the D a chance to change. Fresh legs out for the Rideaus D. Now Peloso across the blue line, but McLean knocks the puck off his stick. Empey and Merkley on the far side, working hard. Sear and Peck, and now McLean back for Carroll. Carroll gets it ahead, but not out. McLean, his clearing pass off a shin pad, and Cruz with his second of the night. Cruz with the sights dialed in. That was off the post and in. And now the Rideaus push it ahead. Cruz back for Colley. Cruz back through the slot, and now Fowler. Sorry, that was Carroll. And the Kings intercept the pass at their own blue line. So Levchenko getting the assist. And Colley gets the secondary apple. That shot off the side of the net. Empey over for Merkley. Merkley ahead for Cohen Campbell. And they get it to neutral ice. And the net is off again. 12:47 here in the second period. The Kings have taken a 2-1 lead over the visiting Rideaus. Face off to the left of Spicer. Evans against Morency. Evans tossed. Picard comes in. And it comes back to Caron. His long shot off the blocker of Spicer. Fowler now gets it to neutral ice. The Kings bang it back in. Finn looking up the middle for Morency. Morency below, and Fowler. That's gloved down by Peloso, and he goes far side for Hurdle. Knocked away there by Finn. Fowler. The Kings looking for a tripping call there, and a lucky bounce for the Kings. And back comes Patty. Finn, he's down, holding a knee. He's up quick. Finn heading for the bench. I think he may have just been adjusting the shin pad as he went into the boards feet first. And Morency tossed because Fowler was in over the line. No. And back to the line for the Kings. In the corner, they get out front, and a save there by Spicer. He denies Kennedy. And now Morency coming out of his own end. He'll flip it through center. Caron gets a glove on it. Fowler and below the forecheckers, and now the Kings. Levchenko gets across the blue line, but has the puck knocked away by Carroll. Off the high glass in the corner. Kings looking to get it back out, and they get it to the line. That's off a leg. And now Morency, 1-on-2. Morency with below, but he has the puck. Knocked off his stick. No icing. Levchenko beat Carroll to that puck. And that pass knocked out of the air by Cruz. He's having a night. Now the Kings pass knocked off out of the air by Cohen Campbell. And back in it goes. And icing. Merkley not happy with that call. Halfway through the game, and the Kings lead the Rideaus 2-1. Peck to Cruz. That was bouncy puck knocked away by Spicer. Behind the net, and that's off a stick. And that comes through the slot area. Below chose the hard route through the middle instead of the safe route of off the boards and out. And now the Kings can't get across. Now Mueller steps up and he shoots wide of the net, and that rebound coming to the front, knocked aside by Dinsdale. Now the Kings throw it up long, and that was tipped there by Hurdle. So now Onion and Pelado. Onion spins, Tries to put it deep for Pelodeau, but the Kings get a stick on it. Now back comes Cruz. Cruz's long shot knocked aside by Spicer. McLean picks it up behind his own net. Ahead for Pelodeau. Pelodeau around a man, tried to get it ahead for Story, but a bit too far. And now the Kings' Picard gets it in behind Spicer. Campbell to McLean to Pelodeau to Onion. And now Picard picks up a loose puck and starts heading back the other way. McLean. Get it up to Pelodeau. Pelodeau's bodied into the boards. McLean hassled by Evans, but Campbell gets it deep. Pelodeau on the forecheck. Comes around to the near boards. McLean keeps it in, but Picard gets it out. Now on the far side, the Kings get it deep. McLean now looking for Jackson. Off the stick of Jackson, they'll be right on Dinsdale, so he'll cover up. And both teams will make changes. Great pace to tonight's game. Only an hour since puck drop, and we're halfway through the second period. And Merkley! Sear to Merkley, and Merkley almost slipped one in the far side, but the net was off again. It's not as if there's one team taking advantage of the nets. It's not that situation. It's coming off at both ends for both goaltenders. Sear battles for that draw. Jackson puts the puck in for Sear. Now Jackson again, out to the line to Mueller. Mueller, his shot hits something or someone. Wren going to get a new rondelle. I hope this one's less bouncy than the last one. Draw pushed, and the Kings take control. Kings coming out 2-on-2. Merkley hustling back, picks up Cawley. Good hustle play by young Merkley. Merkley now across the blue. His shot off an ankle. And Sear, his shot to the midsection of Dinsdale. Both teams making some changes. And the Kings get control of the draw. Kept in at the line. No, it gets out. Leonard gets it deep. Dinsdale out to play that. Peck on the far side. To his defense partner Shaughnessy. Back to Peck. And the Kings get it just over the line. And they'll beat out that icing. And that comes to the high slot. And a nifty goal. Looks like Evans, the goal scorer. He outweighted Spicer, and his stick was a little longer than Spicer's arm. Merkley looking for some clarification here on some fine points of the game I'm not aware of. seems satisfied. And now, the Kings to center. Levchenko dodges around below. Levchenko back. And now below across the line. He's got help. Morency off his skate. And back comes Levchenko. Knocked off stride there by McLean. Now Leonard coming back. Leonard's shot off a stick into the corner. Shaughnessy's clearing attempt kept in by Carroll. And that is going to go deep. Shaughnessy, Carroll bumps him. Finn, his clearing attempt. Knocked out of the air by the Kings. I wonder if the Kings went to a batting cage and practiced laying down bunts, because they have knocked a lot of pucks out of the air tonight so far. And Onion won the draw, but Trache saying we'll do it again. And now Fowler looking to get ahead to Onion and Pelado. But the Kings, Colley getting it deep. Campbell bumped off the puck. And off the boards, but not out. Kept in by Caron. Fowler can't clear. And now the puck comes ahead. Onion can't get the puck to Finn. Finn knocks the puck ahead there, though, but not out. Can Fowler get the puck? Onion trying to throw it up, and that's gloved by Colley high in the air. (3-1). The Kanata Kings lead the visiting Westport Rideaus. Here with 5:45 remaining in the second period. Draw comes to the boards. Levchenko throws it through some bodies. Spicer gets a shoulder on it. Caron another shot, tipped in front. And now the Rideaus. They get ahead. Sear, and Sear loses the handle. And he's run over. But he gets the puck ahead. Took some punishment. Sear throwing it back to the side of the net. Behind the net is Story. Story's throwing it to the slot area. And kept in there by Mueller. Now Sear on the forecheck. Levchenko. Story can't get it back to neutral ice. Picard and Mueller battling. Mueller having a good game here tonight. And Evans can't keep it in. Story working hard, and Story gains the offensive zone. Story looking for Sear, went between his legs. Carroll's shot off a body in front. Carroll coming back, and he runs his man over. But Picard gets a shot off at the other end. For Spicer makes the stop. And now back come the Rideaus. Story has the puck knocked ahead. He gets it to the slot area, and Dinsdale knocks it out. Jacks to McLean. His shot. Big rebound. Another rebound. Sear stops that. Sear around a man. Sear around two. Backhand over the net. Back to the line. Another shot. Tipped in front by Sear. And the Kings will throw that down the ice. That will be an icing. Good shift there by the Rideaus. .347 remaining in the second. Kings lead 3-1. draw scrambled, and the Rideaus get control, but that pass back splits the D. McLean throws it in high off a glove of Peck, and Dinsdale will glove that for a face-off and a line change. Empey on the draw against Colley. And Hurdle brings it out to neutral ice. He throws it in past Campbell. Campbell rubs Hurdle out on the boards. Merkley, he gets around one man. And the D-corps not able to clear that puck in front. And Spicer beaten for the fourth time tonight. The Kings lead 4-1. Draw one by the Kings. Peck back behind Dinsdale to pick that up. Braden below, hassling Peck all the way out. Finn hard off the boards. And now Morency gains the zone. Morency on Cruz. And a penalty coming to Morency. A hook. A hook, says Trottier. So, trailing by 3, the Rideaus will now have to kill off a penalty. 2:55 remaining here in the second period. Evans on the draw against Sear. And the Kings get the puck. They're at the blue line. They throw it in front, rebound. Steered aside by Spicer, and Jackson gets to that loose puck. Colley walking in, and that goes backdoor. That puck's loose in front, and Colley back up top. Spicer with another save. And the Rideaus will clear. Finally, Carroll gets a hold of that puck and knocks down the ice. Rideaus have had some difficulty clearing their own zone at parts of tonight's game. An offside, says Wren. .1:15 remaining in the penalty. 2:10 remaining in the period. Kanata lead Westport 4-1. Onion wins the draw, but Kanata take over. They go D to D. Onion on Colley now, and knocked back in by Story. Onion on Colley again. Robert Onion working Colley like a rented mule. And Onion comes up with the puck. Onion and below working against 4 Kings in the corner, keeping that puck down there. It's still behind Dinsdale. But now the Kings cross their own blue line, cross the Rideaus' blue line. Evans goes low, and Spicer with the save. Great work by Onion and Story there. Jackson and Sear coming back out to finish the last 30 seconds of this power play. Penalty kill. Levchenko, Shaughnessy on the near side for the Kings. Shaughnessy with the puck now. He goes down to Levchenko. And Jackson throwing it ahead for Sear. He needed to get that puck out. Levchenko goes far side, and that puck will come out. Shaughnessy now right back in his own end, and we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. So no harm done on the penalty. And Campbell watching the man, and the puck out coming to the far side, kept in by Caron. Back behind the net. Campbell now. Now McLean up for Sear. Sear with a good effort. He gets it to Jackson. Jackson coming in. He's hassled it. And off the post. Jackson nearly cutting the lead, but the post. And that shot off of the shaft of the stick. Shale and Fowler. Doing some pushing and shoving to end the period. So after 40 minutes of play, the Kanata Kings lead the visiting Westport Rideaus 4-1. We'll see you back here in 10 minutes or less. at the Jack Chiron Arena. New home to the Kanata Kings, where they lead the Westport Rideaus 4-1 with 20 minutes remaining. Shots on goal heavily favoring the Kings thus far tonight. Not many penalties. So the Rideaus have 20 minutes to try to solve Dinsdale. Stasiuk ready to drop the puck here in the third, and it goes back. Kings D-to-D pass up to Evans, up through the middle. Evans long shot into the glove of Ben Spicer. Spicer's younger brother for the Vipers down in Windsor in a playoff against Elmira. That shot off a body and wide of the net. Spicer had to be sharp there as the funny bounce off the boards. And another clearing attempt by the Rideaus. Unsuccessful. Now Story, he gets around a man, no icing. Behind the net. Goes into the line, and the Kings get it down. Carroll now skates around his goaltender. He gets across center. Carroll to the line. Leaves it for Story. Story ahead for Onion. His pass for Sear didn't quite get there. Story might have got away with one there. Going back the other way. Shaughnessy back. Sear looking to finish a check. And the Kings will throw it down the ice. That should be an icing. And it is. Face off to the right of Dinsdale. Sear against Colley. Sear wins that draw. Story can't get the shot away. Puck hops to this corner. And Cruz throws it ahead. Offside, says McFarland. Wondering why Hurdle was so all alone. Onion wins the draw and then gets it deep. Dinsdale out to stop it up for his defenseman. Peck throws it up through the middle. That bounced. And McFarland says it came out. And since he is wearing the striped shirt, it's his word we'll be taking. Onion pushes the draw ahead this time. Back to the line it comes, over to Carroll. Carroll throws a long one in, and Peck knocks that out of the air. Hard off the boards went Peck, but it didn't get out of the zone. Now to Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy flips it high. Carroll gloves that down. And Carroll gets it in. Offside, says the linesman. No icing, as Finn was just stepping on the ice. I guess they thought he should have a shot at that. Now the Kings, behind Spicer, throwing it out front. It goes off a body, and Peloso picks it up near the boards. And Spicer covers up the puck, and the net is off the moorings. 17:21 to go here in the third. The Kings lead by 3. Scramble draw. Leonard gets a hold. He goes off the boards, but kept in by Peloso. Into the corner. Campbell loses a stick. Peloso, he'll shoot. And now Leonard with a chance to clear. He gets it ahead for Pelado. Pelado cutting to the net. And that looked like Finn knocked around behind the play. Now Morency coming in off the blue line. Morency shot off the blocker of Dinsdale. Kept deep. Leonard looking for Campbell. Pelado getting it low. That shot through the blue ice. Campbell steps in. Throws it wide. Got past Leonard. Still in. Morency dancing out of the corner. Out front. Leonard was on his backhand. Couldn't get a hold. And the Kings coming again, throwing that long pass in and beating out the icing. High risk, high reward. It's been rewarding them tonight. Campbell muscling his man in the corner. Up the far side, Morency. Morency with Leonard. Morency narrowly missing a check there. Now the Kings break out. That's Shaughnessy with a head of steam. Shaughnessy over the blue line, throws the puck to the corner. And around the near side. To the far side again. That's sauced out front, and Spicer decides he'll clear it himself. Back in, McLean for Carroll. Carroll off the boards for Merkley. Merkley hit up high by Shaughnessy. And yes, that should be a head contact. Interference, says Trottier. So the Rideaus get a power play. Their earlier power play cut short by a high sticking penalty by Finn. Draw one by the Rideaus. McLean. McLean to Jackson. To the high slot to Story. His shot. Stopped by Dinsdale. Sear drawing some attention. Everybody's skating away. 1:50 remaining in the penalty. 15:04 remaining in the period. The Rideaus could really use a goal here. I think that's an understatement. Heck makes no mistake in getting rid of that puck. Trottier getting out of the way there. McLean up for Morency. Morency gains the zone, drops for Sear. Sear gets it back to Morency. Morency in the corner has Cruz on his back pocket. McLean steps up, his shot high and wide, and the Kings relieve the pressure. Spicer ahead for Jackson. Story can't get around Peck, and the Kings get it back to neutral ice. The Rideaus have to clear the zone. On the far side, Morency couldn't get a hold of that. And now Story. Story gains the zone. Story looking, his pass off a stick, but McLean gets a shot on net and scores! McLean through some bodies, through Dinsdale, and now it's 4-2. So the Rideaus cut into the lead. It's now 4-2. Carroll tries to get ahead. It's knocked down there. And a penalty coming to Pelado. Cross check. Cross check behind the play. So, leading by 2, the Kings go on the power play. And now the penalty's on the board, so we'll drop the puck. And the draw won by the Rideaus, but the Kings get a hold of the puck. And Colley behind the net for Evans. Carroll gets a hold of it. He goes off the boards. And Below gets it into Kings territory.
Westport Rideaus power play goal scored number 51, Thomas McLean.
And now Picard across center. Picard getting it deep on the far side. Mueller gets it to the boards, and Below gets it the rest of the way. Dinsdale around for Peck. Peck puts it back behind the net. Morency on Cruz. Cruz back to Peck. Back to Cruz. Morency and Picard collide after the play. And up to the line. And the Rideaus send it down again. Peck watched by Morency. And that could be an icing. And it is. So, face-off coming to the right of Dinsdale. .49 seconds remaining in the power play. And the Kings get control. The Kings flip it ahead, but they'll beat out the icing. Man all alone in front was Picard. .40 seconds now remaining in the penalty to Pelado. Kennedy on the draw against Jackson. And the Rideaus come up with the puck, and they will send it the length of the ice. Dinsdale stops that. Peloso, the first man back for the Kings. Peloso behind the net. And now Levchenko. Levchenko weaving through center ice. He drops for Kennedy. And Finn goes high off the glass, and Jackson and Sear blowing the zone a little early perhaps. Jackson putting it over for Spicer as the penalty expires. Interesting play. I'm not sure they work on that in practice. But now the Rideaus able to make changes, and we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. The clock, the Rideaus' biggest opponent right now. And that puck just wide on the backhand attempt from the sprawling Kings player. And now Story coming in. Story's shot high over the glass. It hits a stanchion and bounces out. Campbell has the puck hop his stick. Levchenko cutting towards the net. No. Trip the call. Trache buying what the Kings player was selling. Campbell had knocked the puck away, and the Kings player had taken a stride, but then went down. So Another power play going to the Kings. We'll see how this one settles down. To the line, to the half boards. And now coming out the far side, Cruz looking for the hat trick, but Spicer denies. That took 10 seconds off the clock. Cruz and Sear. The puck gets to Peck, but not past. Cruz now looking for Peck, and Sear puts it high off the glass. Jackson, the forechecker, gets around Peck, gets the puck. That's kicked out the far side. Will Sear get there first? Sear and Peck now battling on the far side. And the Kings breaking out of their own zone. Cruz, he's got 2 tonight. Peck coming in on the far side, gets around McLean. Shot, gobbled up by Spicer. Rideaus trail by
go.